Here are the top stories for today, December 16, 2020. Toll holiday in Valenzuela ends today. Cordillera, Bicol identify schools for face-to-face classes. Malacanang is confident that the ICC case against the government's anti-illegal drug war will not prosper. And the Health Department issues protocols for those who attend simbang gabi. Good day, I am William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. The toll holiday for the North Luzon Expressway in Valenzuela ends today as Mayor Rex Gatchalian ordered the conditional lifting of the suspension order of the business permit of NLEX. Based on their meeting this morning, the city government of Valenzuela and NLEX Corporation have mutually agreed to lift barriers in all RFID lanes in the toll plazas from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. Toll fees will be collected during these hours. Meanwhile, barriers are down from 10:01 p.m. to 4:59 a.m. for safety reasons. Cash lanes are reinstated in strategic locations in the toll plazas in the city. There will be an RFID system and account management upgrade to be completed on or before January 30, 2021. Both parties have also agreed to create a technical working group composed of the city government and NLEX key personnel who will continuously meet to innovate traffic and account management initiatives. Face-to-face classes in low-risk areas is set to start next month. Pilot implementation will take place only in areas under modified general community quarantine. According to the Department of Education, the participation of the learners in the pilot study will be voluntary with the requisite permit issued by the parents. Face-to-face classes will not be held for the full week schedule and with reduced class size to allow proper physical distancing within the classroom. The participating schools, local government units, learners, and parents will undergo a thorough process of orientation, mobilization, and readiness confirmation before the actual implementation. Malacanang sets the timeline for the implementation of face-to-face classes in areas with low risk of coronavirus disease. As announced by presidential spokesperson Harry Roque, December 14 to 18 would be the submission of nominated schools for pilot implementation or dry run. Selection of pilot schools would be on December 28. Orientation, mobilization, and readiness confirmation of selected pilot schools is on January 4 to 8. Implementation of pilot activities including joint monitoring by DepEd and the COVID-19 National Task Force is on January 11 to 23, and submission of regional reports on the pilot implementation and evaluation for the final recommendation to the President will be on January 25 to 29.
Pilot lang po ito. Ito'y isang buwan lamang. Wala pong pilitan. Voluntaryo po ito. Kinakailangan merong approval ng mga magulang at bukod po dito, dapat papayag din po ang LGU. Kung ayaw ng LGU, hindi po natin ipipilit itong pilot face-to-face.
Public schools in Bicol are preparing to hold in-person classes in January in anticipation of the face-to-face classes. According to DepEd Regional Director Gilbert Sadsad, they have already identified schools in low-risk areas for the implementation of limited face-to-face classes. Sadsad said after careful consideration of the status of COVID-19 cases in the region, 1,200 or 30% of the 3,800 public schools in Bicol may pursue a blended learning system. This is a combination of limited in-person classes and home modular or online classes. He said half of the class would hold face-to-face classes for 2 days, while the other half would hold modular or online classes at home for 3 days and vice versa the following week. Meanwhile, the Department of Education in the Cordillera has submitted a list of 60 schools in the region that would qualify for the limited in-person classes. According to DepEd Regional Director Estela Carino, they have submitted a list of 60 schools in the region that could qualify for the limited in-person classes. She says the schools are located in far-flung communities where there are no recorded cases of COVID-19 and the students and teachers live in one community and near the school. Malacanang is hopeful that fewer Filipinos would feel that they are poor once a vaccine for COVID-19 is available. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said the palace is saddened by results of a social weather station survey which showed that nearly half of the Filipino families consider themselves poor. The SWS survey, conducted from November 21 to 25 by FacetoFace interviews, found 48% of families rating themselves as poor, 36% feeling borderline poor, and only 16% feeling not poor.
Well, nakakalungkot po talaga yan at yan ay epekto ng pagpatuloy na lockdown natin at quarantine dahil nga po sa pandemya. Ang Christmas gift na lang po na maibibigay natin sa lahat ay yung pag-asa na matatapos na nga po itong pandemyang ito dahil nandyan ang bakuna. Ginagawa natin ng lahat para maibigay ang mga bakuna sa mga Pilipino, kahit ano pang halagang yan. At dahil alam natin na ito lang po ang tunay na solusyon sa pandemyang ito. At matapos po ang pandemya, lahat po tayo, makakabalik na po tayo sa ating mga hanap buhay at bababa po yung kahirapan.
Manila Mayor Isko Moreno Dumagoso ordered the investigation on the alleged unauthorized COVID-19 vaccination in Binondo. Dumagoso issued a memorandum directing the Manila Police District, Manila Health Department, and the Manila Bureau of Permits to immediately look into a radio report about the alleged COVID-19 vaccination. Dumagoso said he has not authorized anyone to do any COVID-19 vaccination and has not received information about any national government agency that is conducting COVID-19 vaccinations. Dumagoso said if proven true, criminal and other charges will be filed against those responsible for the unauthorized vaccination. Tourists may now apply for a subsidized reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction test at the UP Philippine General Hospital or UPPGH. This following a formal agreement between the public hospital and the Tourism Promotions Board or TPB. The subsidy program with 10 million pesos will help some 11,000 tourists in getting their RT-PCR test. From the original price of 1,800 pesos, the TPB will shoulder 50% of the test cost, cutting the fee for travelers to 900 pesos. To avail, tourists must register at www.tpb.gov.ph/RTPCRPHtravel/. Still to come, Malacanang is confident that the ICC case against the government's anti-illegal drug war will not prosper. And almost 100,000 workers in Central Luzon receive financial assistance. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Sa matinding laban natin sa Coronavirus Disease 2019, sugpuin din natin ang pagkalat ng fake news. Huwag magbahagi ng impormasyon na hindi tiyak ang pinagmulan. I-check mabuti ang source ng balita. Kumuha lamang ng impormasyon mula sa mga official channel ng Department of Health. Huwag magpadala sa maling balita, basta't sama-sama at laging handa. Kaya natin to. Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
You're still watching the PNA Newsroom. Malacanang is confident that International Criminal Court or ICC will eventually decide against opening a preliminary investigation into the anti-illegal drugs campaign of the Duterte administration. ICC prosecutor Fatou Bensouda earlier alleged that crimes against humanity were committed in the crackdown on illegal drugs. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque described Bensouda's report as legally erroneous. Roque cited principle of complementarity in which the ICC can only investigate crimes against humanity if local courts are unable or unwilling to do so. President Rodrigo Duterte himself has repeatedly said the ICC has no jurisdiction over him since the Rome Statute was never published in a newspaper of general circulation or on the official gazette. The Rome Statute is a treaty that created the International Court on November 1st, 2011.
Obviously, we do not agree with her. It's legally erroneous dahil meron po tayong minimum gravity na required. Hindi po lahat ng krimen ay liniliti sa ICC. Pero gaya na aking sinabi, meron na pong desisyon ng ICC na hindi sasayangin ng ICC ang perang panahon ng kanyang mga opisyales sa mga kaso na hindi naman po uusad dahil walang kooperasyon. Kampante po kami na dahil sinabi na natin yan, i-apply ng ICC yung naging ruling na nila sa isang kaso, no? Na bakit ka pa magsisimula ng kaso kung hindi ka naman makipagtulungan yung bansa na naging miyembro ng ICC. Decision po yan ng ICC mismo, pre-trial chamber, doon po sa kaso na nais nilang mag-imbestiga laban sa mga Amerikano. I am confident po na i-apply din yung prinsipyo pagdating kay Presidente.
The real numbers data is as real and as accurate as it gets in the government's fight against illegal drugs in the country. The Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, or PDEA, made this stand as the International Criminal Court announced there is reasonable basis to believe that crimes against humanity were committed under President Duterte's anti-illegal drug campaign. PDEA spokesperson Derek Carrion said the ICC should release data based on specific incidents and not general insinuating statements. Carrion said that as far as the PDEA is concerned, the agency has performed its duties well and any irregularity is investigated properly. Senator Panfilo Lacson also shrugged off the ICC's findings, saying reasonable grounds to believe is what he called an unreasonably unclear evidentiary threshold. He said the statement leading to prosecute the president for crimes against humanity may only be good as a press release. Cotabato City is now an integral part of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. This came after Interior Secretary Eduardo Año, together with Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana, led on Tuesday the turnover of the city's administrative control from Region 12 to the BARMM. Minister Nagib Sinarimbo of the Ministry of the Interior and Local Government said the city will remain an independent component with its internal revenue allotment still under the national government's management. 63 North Cotabato villages that voted to become part of the new region will also form part of the expanded BARMM. The BARMM is the product of the Comprehensive Peace Agreement between the national government and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. Año assured the national government would remain supportive of the fledgling region's transition phase. Private workers in Central Luzon who were affected by the COVID-19 pandemic have received cash aid from the Department of Labor and Employment, or DOLE. More on this and other news from the provinces from Laid Kabagani.
Some 96,000 private workers in Central Luzon have received 5,000 pesos in financial assistance each. The financial benefit is under the Department of Labor and Employment's COVID-19 Adjustment Measure Program, or CAMP2. DOLE Regional Director Maria Zenaida Angara Campita said that some 481 million pesos has already been disbursed in the region. Campita said the DOLE Regional Office will continue receiving and processing applications for the tourism sector workers who were among the hardest hit by the pandemic. Meanwhile, the local government unit of Carrascal in Surigao del Sur has turned over the newly completed fish landing project for the fisher folks in the area. The project, constructed in the coastal village of Doyos, was handed over Monday afternoon by Carrascal Town Mayor Vicente Hotchkiss Pimentel III to the town's fisher folk groups. More than 600 fishermen from the 7 coastal barangays will directly benefit from this fish landing project. In Davao del Sur, the municipality of Magsaysay received 15 million from the National Housing Authority to build 100 houses for the members of the Blaan tribe in Barangay Maibo. NHA turned over 65 houses in Barangay Takul and 106 units in Barangay Tagaytay San Miguel in the same town. About 2,002 families were prioritized since their homes are situated in no-build zone that is prone to landslide during earthquakes. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Laid Kabagani.
In our business news, the DTI Bureau of Domestic Trade Promotion has launched on Tuesday the National Trade Fair Digital Mall to address the challenges of micro, small, and medium enterprises, or MSMEs. The NTF Digital Mall is an e-commerce platform that aims to help MSMEs future-proof their businesses as they pivot to online selling. The Digital Mall offers continuous promotion of the food and non-food products from the different regions amid the physical restrictions of the pandemic. Like all national trade fairs, the Digital Mall showcases the best products of 223 MSMEs from all parts of the country. Buyers can connect with enterprises via the Viber app for secure instant messaging. Visitors will also have access to DTI webinars and can read about the participating exhibitors' inspirational success stories. Interested shoppers may visit their website at ntfdigimall.linker.store. Up next, the Health Department issues protocols for those who attend simbang gabi. And Ilocos Sur wants to end the insurgency by developing the province into an economic hub. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Tandaan ang tamang paraan ng paghuhugas at paglilinis ng kamay upang makaiwas sa iba't ibang karamdaman. Basain ng tubig ang mga kamay at sabunin. Unang sabunin ang mga palad at ang likod ng mga kamay. Kuskusin na maigi ang pagitan ng mga daliri at maging ang mga kuko. Isunod ang pagitan ng mga hinlalaki at kuskusin ng paikot ang mga dulo ng mga daliri sa magkabilang palad. Banlawang mabuti ang mga kamay sa malinis na tubig at patuyuin ang mga kamay gamit ang single-use towel o air dryer. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
The Department of Health, or DOH, released a health advisory as Catholics begin to flock churches in observance of Simbang Gabi, as Simbang Gabi can easily become a COVID-19 super spreader event. The DOH said the government is preparing for a post-holiday surge. To curb the spread of COVID-19, the DOH encouraged the public to attend online masses instead of in-person gatherings. Those physically attending masses are urged to observe physical distancing, wear face masks and face shields at all times, limit activity or exposure, and ensure adequate ventilation in venues. The amended IATF EID Omnibus Guidelines allowed religious gatherings with not more than 5 persons in areas under modified enhanced community quarantine, not more than 30% of the seating capacity in areas under GCQ, and not more than 50% seating capacity in areas under modified GCQ. The Department of the Interior and Local Government reminds local government units to enforce health and safety protocols this holiday season to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Marita Mawai has the story.
The Department of the Interior and Local Government in Region 10 called on local government units Tuesday to remain vigilant in enforcing health protocols against COVID-19 during the holidays, when people are expected to gather for Christmas and New Year. DILG 10 Director Arnel Agabe said LGUs must still enforce safe physical distancing in public areas, as well as the wearing of face masks and face shields. Local chief executives should also coordinate with the Philippine National Police and barangay officials to remind the public on the observance of safe physical distancing. If the LGUs are unable to control crowds, Gabi urged them to avoid holding activities or putting up Christmas displays that could invite or gather people. In Bulacan, Governor Daniel Fernando reiterated his directives for strict health and safety protocols to prevent a possible surge in the number of COVID-19 cases this Yuletide season. Fernando asked the Bulacan Provincial Police Office to conduct border monitoring and to watch out for those who may violate health protocols by holding Christmas parties and other mass gatherings. He also reminded the Department of Trade and Industry to check out the malls in the province to see if they are only allowing people aged 15 to 65 inside their premises. Based on the report of the Provincial Health Office Public Health, Bulacan posted a 15% decrease in the number of cases from August 26 to September 1. In Cotabato City, Mayor Joseph Evangelista has ordered the cancellation of Christmas parties in all departments of the city government. The holding of seminars required for the renewal of business permits and tricycle franchises has also been canceled at the recommendation of the local interagency task force for the management of infectious disease. Over the weekend, the city government reopened the City Plaza and the City Hall lobby filled with Christmas decors for public viewing, but with strict crowd control and physical distancing imposed. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Marita Muaje.
The municipality of Suyo in Ilocos Sur looks forward to welcoming investors to develop Mount Tapao as a special economic zone. The local government has applied for a mixed-use special economic zone for manufacturing, agro-industrial, and information technology. Mayor Mario Subagan said if this is approved, the insurgency in the area will be solved once economic progress sets in. In an interview on Tuesday's Laging Handa Network briefing hosted by Secretary Martin Andanar, Subagan asked for help in fast-tracking the application process. The mayor said the proposed economic zone is expected to enhance local tourism, provide employment, increase revenues, improve the quality of life of the community, and promote harmonious relationships and empowerment among stakeholders. He also called on investors to expand business in Suyo, known for its great potential in agriculture, industry, and services. The local government of Pulilan and SM Center in the town launched on Monday a bike trail in the establishment's 2.1-hectare terrain through the staging of the Eliminator MTB race. The participants showed their cycling prowess as they competed in the Pulilan League and Open League category. The race was composed of 3 laps with a total length of 7.5 kilometers for the elimination and final rounds. The competition was scaled down to comply with the regulations of the Interagency Task Force. Ariana Dormitorio, the undisputed queen of Philippine mountain bike racing, conquered the trail and joined aspiring mountain bikers on a spin-off race during the launch. SM Center Pulilan has gained popularity among locals and visitors alike as it became the new destination for riding and cycle sport. The Philippine Red Cross calls for blood donors as the holiday season approaches. PRC Chairman and CEO Senator Richard Gordon urged the public to donate more blood to replenish the reserves in case of emergencies. PRC is also expecting a surge in demand for blood supply and reserves during the holiday season. As people prefer to stay at home fearing COVID-19 infection, PRC assured that all health protocols are being observed to keep donors safe. For the location of the blood centers and available schedules, people may visit the Philippine Red Cross website or the PRC National Headquarters at Mandaluyong City and its Manila Blood Bank at Bonifacio Drive, Port Area, Manila. Here's another look at today's biggest stories. Toll holiday in Valenzuela ends today. Cordillera, Bicol identify schools for face-to-face classes. Malacanang is confident that the ICC case against the government's anti-illegal drug war will not prosper. And the Health Department issues protocols for those who attend simbang gabi. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. To check more news content, check our webpage or head onto the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also, watch us on television on PTV4 and IBC 13. And there are 9 more days to go before Christmas. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. We tell stories that inspire change. I am William Theo. Good day. Stay safe, everyone.